Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got the spark, don't fit the dark. Shine your lights
From Kingston, Jamaica, it's Tuesday, January 7, 2025. This is CVM News at noon, and I'm Ramon Gordon. Westmoreland has recorded its first police fatal shooting of the year, following a dramatic series of events involving an alleged gunman and a reported armed robbery. Here's the latest. Westmoreland has recorded its first police fatal shooting of 2025. The incident unfolded Monday night when 26-year-old Kevin Smith, otherwise called Wappy, was fatally shot at the Negril police station after allegedly disarming an officer. Reports are that around 10:10 p.m., police intercepted two vehicles suspected to be carrying armed men planning a robbery. A dragnet was set up along the Retreat main road, where one vehicle was stopped and two occupants, including Smith, were detained. During the operation, an illegal firearm and ammunition were seized. However, while being processed at the lockup, Smith reportedly wrestled the rifle from an officer and was fatally shot. The second vehicle was later intercepted in a bushy area. While its occupants fled, police pursued and captured another suspect who remains in custody. The matter has been reported to Indicom, which is now investigating. St. James is already making headlines in 2025 as police launch aggressive operations to take illegal guns and ammunition off the streets. With hundreds of rounds seized and major fines reported, the division is doubling down on its mission to curb crime. Shante McNeil tells us more.
It's just days into the new year, and the St. James Police Division is already making waves in its relentless crackdown on crime. Under the Operation Reassure initiative, police have seized over 550 rounds of ammunition and several high-powered weapons, setting a decisive tone for 2025. The latest success, a targeted operation on Sunday.
Specialized Operations SWAT conducted an operation within the Green Pond space where 57 rounds were found in an abandoned building. Actually 43 5.56 round and 14 9mm rounds. We have really seen a lot of work being done within the space by not just the St. James Police, but all supporting elements.
This follows Friday's major clampdown in Guava Walk, where police recovered a Patriot AR-15 rifle, a 1,100-round magazine drum, and over 500 assorted rounds of ammunition. Suspects fled into nearby bushes, engaging law enforcement in a gunfight, but no injuries or arrests were reported. The operation zeroed in on a suspected gun runner and lottery scammer. Superintendent Samuels highlights the importance of these finds.
We consider each round a life or two save, especially with the high caliber of the rounds. We know that the arsenal, when you get rid of the arsenal of ammunition that they have, it gives us some time to really do some work within the space.
These operations, supported by the Area 1 Special Operations Unit, the Jamaica Defense Force, and Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, are part of a larger strategy to meet the Police Commissioner's ambitious goal of reducing the national murder rate to under 1,000 this year, aiming for no more than 100 murders in St. James. But while the focus is on fighting crime, Superintendent Samuel stresses the importance of prioritizing the well-being of his team.
Currently, we will be looking greatly at the welfare of the members to ensure that they are in a position to really work hard and serve the people with distinction as they have been doing. So we believe that if we look out for the welfare of the members, that they will in turn push harder and ensure that we reach the targets that we are setting.
With guns and ammunition off the streets and a renewed commitment to safety, the St. James Police are making it clear 2025 will be a year of action. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
A man of unsound mind was fatally shot by police in Manchester on Monday after allegedly attacking his father with a machete. The deceased has been identified as Okari Gale. Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan says Indicom is investigating.
On the arrival of the police, they observed a man who was later identified as Mr. Okari Gale, who was armed with a machete and inflicting chop wounds to an elderly gentleman who was lying helplessly on the ground. The police team gave clear instructions to Mr. Gale to drop the machete that he was armed with. And instead of dropping the machete, Mr. Gale held the machete in the air and threatened to kill the elderly man that was on the ground. The police at this point discharged their weapons in the air in a bid to have Mr. Gale drop the machete and to cease the attack. Mr. Gale, however, continued the attack on the man, the helpless man that was on the ground. And at this point, for the fear that the man on the ground would be further injured or killed by Mr. Okari Gale, the police officers, in defense of the gentleman's life, discharged their weapon in the direction of Mr. Okari Gale, who was hit. Both gentlemen were assisted immediately to the Mandeville Regional Hospital, where Okari Gale succumbed to his injuries, and the elderly man was admitted in a serious condition.
Industry Minister Albin Hill has fired back at opposition spokesperson Anthony Hill, who has accused him of inaction in his ministry. Appearing on CVM's lead story, Hill dismissed the criticism and challenged Hilton's legacy, calling it, for a second time, irrelevant.
In 2015, when he got this firm together and really, when the newspapers reduced it to two names, Krauk, which I think was a German name, and Anchor, and you, being Jamaican that you are, changed it to Crown and Anchor. I think it was you who changed it to Crown and Anchor. That's Tony Hilton's legacy. And what was it? He made a big brouhaha about bringing $5 billion to invest in the logistics hub. The newspapers report that Dr. Peter Phillips, who was the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Finance before Dr. Phillips was Dr. Omar Davis, who was then in Works, I think, Ministry of Works. They separated themselves from Mr. Hilton. And so he had no support. That's his legacy. Crown and Anchor is what he's known for. It's a non-producing thing. So
The annual Race for Hope 5K and Kids Fun Run takes place this Sunday, aiming to preserve the Hope Gardens green space in Kingston while promoting health and wellness. Running Events JA's Managing Director shared more details on Sunrise.
One gets a shirt which carries the message about preservation of the gardens, and also, you know, we're running events is concerned. It's also about self-preservation. Preserving your health.
Yes.
And this is the first event we're doing for the year. And we want persons who have made commitments to start their fitness journey in 2025 to use this initiative, both for self and both for others, in preserving this wonderful green space that we have in Jamaica. We utilize that area for events, more than right through the year, and we know that it needs maintenance. And you can play your part by participating in the event, maintaining the gardens and maintaining yourself. So the event is on Sunday, January 12th. We have warm up at 6 a.m. We kick off with the 5K run and walk at about 6:30. We have a 3K for kids.
Nice.
And that will go off at 6:40. Now, I don't want to take this matter of health and, the fitness journey lightly, because a lot of us sometimes say, we're going to start next year. Well, next year is here. And don't postpone it, because, in Jamaica, we have a lot of, what should I say, non-communicable challenges. Persons do not seek to take care of themselves, and the fact is that if you don't take time out for wellness, you're going to have to take time out for sickness.
Illness, yeah.
So I'm appealing to persons, register now for Race for Hope, put on your boots, lace up, start the fitness journey for 2025.
It's time for a break. More when we return.
Carpet Store. We bring comfort to every step with flooring that blends softness and style. From carpets and rugs to durable vinyl flooring and expert installation services, we have everything you need to transform your space. And when it's time for a refresh, our carpet and upholstery cleaning service brings your flooring back to life. Visit us at 18 Dunbarton Avenue, Kingston. The Carpet Store, because you deserve the best.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
Welcome back. As the new year kicks off, some Jamaicans are feeling the financial pinch. But the Senior Vice President for Marketing and Sales at JN Fund Managers has tips on turning the tide. Here's Adrian Williams.
In an ever-evolving economic landscape, persons are now looking to more non-traditional ways of building their financial portfolios. An investment option, Senior Vice President for Marketing and Sales at JN Fund Managers, Dolores Jones, encourages individuals to look into.
Investing, Adrian, is the key to building wealth and achieving your goals. And as we go into a new year, it is important that we put that at the front of our minds.
As seen here in this cash flow quadrant, the right half with investment and business has a greater potential for persons to build wealth. This is why Jones encourages persons to diversify their income streams.
When you invest in stocks, for example, stocks pay dividend, whether quarterly, half yearly, or annually. So you gain from that. If you're interested in bonds, you also gain from the coupon payments on the bonds. And of course, investing in real estate, particularly if you do it for rental income, the income is there.
Investing can also help individuals to create a safety net for emergencies. But for someone just starting out, she says after creating a budget for your expenses, decide what you can set aside to invest.
Look at how much you have that you can set aside to start an investment plan. And you don't have to start big. $5,000 can actually start an investment plan. in a mutual fund.
She reminds, it is important, however, to seek financial advice from a trusted advisor before making these decisions. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
Staff, students and parents at Jesse Ripple Primary are mourning the tragic loss of their principal, Anil Stevens, who died alongside his wife in a car crash in the U.S. just days ago. Our reporter Courtney Lewis is at the school as tributes continue to pour in. Courtney, tell me what's the latest.
What we're seeing here this morning at the Jesse Ripple Primary School is no ordinary January morning. I mean, it has been a tragedy, and while the school is grieving, we're seeing resilience like never before. I mean, students are supporting one another. Parents have stayed behind to support the students and staff, and the staff is also rallying around each other, just providing support, being beacons of light for each other. As they say, that is what their previous principal, Mr. Anil Stevens, would have wanted. Now, we're seeing where the opposition leader also paid the school a visit, and he offered his support and his condolences to the school family. I mean, there are memorials everywhere. There are over 70 counselors from the Ministry of Education. The permanent secretary for the Ministry of Education was also present, and they have tremendous support coming from many different education stakeholders. So joining me, actually, this afternoon is one of the PTA presidents, and she is Miss Marsha.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
You can just tell me a little bit about what's going on at the school today and what the atmosphere is like.
Okay, so we have come today to lend our support to Jesse Ripple Primary. I, in the capacity of PTA president for the CMA Alpha, where his daughter attends, and I'm also the QEC1 PTA president chair, of which I work closely with Mr. Stevens. It's a sad occasion, but we're holding up. He has left so much legacy, and he has taught us so much, and he has inspired us, and we're here today to give support, not mourning, not crying, but we are happy for what he left with us, and we are happy for the life that he lived and what he has done for Jesse Ripple to this point. We really want to just encourage everybody to just let us huddle together and give the support to Jesse Ripple, because at this time, the school, the teachers, the students, the parents need all the support they can.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So that's what we're seeing here. It's a tremendous show of support. It's a tremendous show of love. And, you know, the school is maintaining that they will be resilient despite this tragedy. Back to you in studio, Ramon.
Thank you so much, Courtney. To international news now. Unlike the 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol, Congress has formally certified Republican President-elect Donald Trump's victory over Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris, paving the way for his swearing-in on January 20. Here's more from Reuters.
House come to order.
Donald Trump's election victory was formally certified on Monday.
For President of the United States,
Vice President Kamala Harris presided over the joint session of Congress, clearing the way for her former election rival to be sworn in as president later this month.
Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
The ceremony stood in sharp contrast to exactly 4 years ago, when Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in a failed attempt to block the certification of his loss.
Well, today was obviously a very important day.
Harris spoke to reporters after she said she performed her constitutional duties.
One of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power. And today, America's democracy stood.
They are marching through now.
On January 6, 2021, rioters surged past police barricades, assaulting about 140 officers and causing more than $2.8 million in damage. Multiple police officers who battled protesters died in the weeks that followed, some by suicide. Trump continues to falsely claim that his 2020 defeat was the result of widespread fraud. He has said he plans to pardon some of those charged with taking part in the riot. Security inside and outside the Capitol was heightened on Monday, with snowy Capitol grounds ringed by metal fences and checkpoints, along with extra teams of uniformed police checking IDs at entrance sites. The boosted security is expected to remain in place through Trump's inauguration on January 20th.
Stay with us. Sports is next.
AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills, fix up your house, buy furniture and appliances, repair or buy a car. And when you're done, take a vacation loan. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Call AIM today. You won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
Recycling Partners of Jamaica. Yeah, we got to make a change, and we have to do it now, can't wait for later. We put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than